I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or end up swinging from a tree. They followed me to the bus stop yelling, "Drag her to the tree over there," so I had to get in character. "Drag her to that tree over there. Take care of that nigger." I tried to find a friendly face in the crowd, and I did. But when I turned to her, she spat on me. So she's already nervous. And it says, "I was nervous and my knees were shaking. But I knew I was safe." Someone yelled, "No nigger girl is going to our school." When I reached the guards, they wouldn't let me pass, and the mob was right on me. They moved in closer yelling, "Lynch her, lynch her." I tried to find a friendly face in the crowd, and I did. But when I turned to her, she spat on me. Wow. That's my script for today. Let's see if I could bring it to life. So we always want to do something, you know, creative that taps into a part of us, and I believe our story is a part of my story, and that's also the ideology of the whole production is our story. It is a part of our story, especially as African Americans here in this country, and to talk about civil rights and where we are today. So it really means a lot to be a part of this. It has been in production for about, I think this is the 13th year, if I'm correct. So to be a part of it is really important for me. This is when the Voices of Renaissance went to go and perform for President Obama and also First Lady Michelle Obama in Washington back in December 2011. So these are the Young Kings, which we can see right here. That's the boys section of the Voices of Renaissance, which is also the tenor section of the choir, and they're known as the Young Kings. They wear 5-piece suits, and the girls are the First Ladies. And this is a great picture because the First Ladies are really with the First Lady of the United States, so it's a great picture. The Voices of Renaissance performing for the President and the First Lady, it started as pretty much as a vision that Miss Lee Jones had, and she said, "I think I want my students to perform for the President." So she pursued it. She sent an email and did all of the prerequisites, and when the day came, hey, here they are. So it's important because, you know, for us to have the first black president and for the kids to actually see that and entertain our first black president, you know, that's really important. Choir rehearsal is pretty early in the morning. When I showed up the first day, I didn't think that I would actually join the choir because I'm just afraid of crowds. Well, I'm not afraid of crowds, I'll say, but I'm afraid to get in front of crowds and to perform or to publicly speak. It's always been a challenge for me. So when Miss Lee Jones asked me to join the choir and to become a member, I said, I can't even sing. But nonetheless, I added volume to the choir. Mrs. Debinga and Mr. Robertson, they kind of spotted me and they asked me to come and read for a part in a play. Mrs. Debinga is the CEO of Originations, which is a cultural arts studio. So I went and I read for this part and I ended up getting it. And I think the Voices of Renaissance really helped with me not being afraid of going in front of a crowd. Rarely did a sheriff or police officer protect a potential victim. Prominent community members frequently encouraged and even participated in lynchings. White political leaders, journalists, and clergymen rarely denounced lynching in public. The Atlanta Constitution dismissed lynching as being relatively inconsequential. Lynchings were barbaric, savage, and just another manifestation of white supremacy. Black people were murdered, burned, and mutilated for little or no reason at all.
I first met Chardas about 3 years ago. A friend of mine had called saying that he had a graduate student who was interested in doing an internship, and he thought that it would be a nice match having her come to our school. I introduced her to Miss Lee, who directs the Voices of Renaissance, and it was almost like a match made in heaven. Chardas and Renaissance just hit it off. She introduced us to her kitchen. You know, she has a gourmet kitchen. She began cooking food, and then she started telling us about her hopes and dreams. And I realized that she's an amazing person. She's not a typical person. In fact, I call it playing the piano. She's got a finger in the construction business. She's got a finger in the food business. She's an educator. She's an artist.
I absolutely love Chardas' food. I could eat her. She needs to have her own restaurant. She needs to have chains all over the country because she has the best food. Let me taste it. Just like I remember it. This is so good.
I've always enjoyed cooking and hosting dinner parties and having people over to eat. I started selling food when I was in grad school just to have money. I just wanted them to try it. You know, people are always so busy on the go. They hardly get a chance to sit down and eat some good food or a good home cooked meal that has them in mind.
Don't worry, here, try a piece. You want me to hold that for you? Okay. All right.
Ready? Awesome.
Good.
She's out here with Chardas right now, you know what I'm saying, enjoying the food. You know, she's a grade A chef, straight up from the valley.
Oh man, it's all falling off the bones. She did a good job.
You go, girl. That looks so delicious. Thank you so much.
Want me to put some on there?
Oh, I think the salmon will be okay, sweetheart. I think it's kind of already done, and our sun-dried tomatoes, they're pretty much done too.
She cooked so lovely, and her food was so good. Everybody gave me compliments. That is my word. And this is a good soul. She cooks with tender love and care. I'm a fan of her shepherd pie. No lie. I eat the whole shepherd pie by myself.
Hey, father, boy, you look like $1 million bucks. Where you going, man? $2 million, man. I ain't mad at you.
I was in the play last year, the production last year. So this would be my second time, but before that, no. So
how do you feel when you're going in front of people?
I'm naturally shy.
Naturally shy?
I'm naturally shy, but I come alive when I'm in front of people. With the characters that I portray, I just reflect me and them, and they come through me. So you get me, but you also get that particular character.
Who's your favorite actress?
My favorite actress is my mama.
Chardas was the only girl. Out of 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl, and she was the baby. And so her life was kind of hectic with 3 big brothers. They were always looking out for her, always trying to protect her, always making sure she had what she needed. I brought them down south so they could have the southern experience of growing up together in this quiet environment right across the street from a university. So they would have high expectations. All my kids went to Fort Valley State University. I was into everything when I was coming through school, and I kind of put that on her. She ended up being in a lot of things coming up through school, high school and everything. And even when she got to college, she just loves to be in the life. I love that. It's something about you're giving all of yourself out to people.
It's a way for me to show the God in me, to show that God lives in me, and that's kind of how I feel about when I feed people the food. This is God. It's not solely me per se, but it is me. God comes through me, so I do feel as though it is me, but it's also God. So with all the different things that I do, I feel as though God works in all things that I do in my life. So serving people I mean, I feel like that's the reason why I'm supposed to be here. That's why things are the way they are. That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, now I used to cook all the time, and that's another thing that I did that I guess they must have picked up on it naturally. And I've seen a couple of her episodes, and it's like, oh my God, she really was paying attention when she saw me doing that. I used to cook for all the kids in the neighborhood. All of my son's friends and Chardas' friends would come over to the house, and I just never knew that it really penetrated them like that. And Chardas' cooking episodes have been off the chain. I am just so pleased with everything that she's doing.
What's up, girl? How you doing? How you been? Good. You turned 7. Really? Man. November 17th. That was the other day.
Wow, this has been an ongoing project for us. My husband started it, oh God, when Chardas and those were kids. For a long time, we used to call it the pool, because it's like, is it gonna ever be a house? Is it gonna ever be a house? But it was one of those things where we were doing it piecemeal, and when we do finish it, it's gonna be cost-free. We're not gonna owe a cent on it. We're doing it as we go and as we grow, okay? And so right now, believe it or not, the bricks are the only thing that need to be done to the house, and that's going to be the most costly. But we're saving up so that it won't cost us anything when it's time to put the bricks up. When that last brick goes into place, it's going to be a done deal. Because her dad was in construction, and so the boys did construction, and so it just was like osmosis. I really didn't think that at any given time that she was really listening to it, but it wasn't until now that she went out and just flying with it. I just thought that was awesome, that she is a minority black female construction person, and it's like, oh my God, that's fantastic. And I never would have really thought that she was going to go in that direction, but she is doing it to death.
I think I need to do some articulation exercises really quickly. Red Laurie, yellow Laurie, unique New York, 6 thick thistle sticks, Sam's shop stocks, short spotted socks. They were there to protect me. They opened up their line and allowed a few white students to enter. I knew I was next. I was nervous and my knees were shaking, but I knew I was safe. Someone yelled, "No nigger girl is going to our school." Don't ever let them see you cry. A white woman spoke to me. She brought me on the bus and sat next to me. I don't remember anything she was saying. I do remember getting off the bus and being in my mother's arms. I was safe.
Anxious? Were you excited? Were you exhilarated when it was done? Nervous?
A lot of emotions, but I think overall I'm looking forward to it. My students are coming. We have about 200 students who are coming from the school. So to perform in front of some of the students who haven't ever seen the show is pretty exciting. I'm excited.
My daughter is a very unique individual. I want you to look at her from a perspective that she is a sharp, intelligent, articulate young lady that knows what she wants in life and she goes after it. She is just really sharp, and I want her to continue. And who knows, the sky's the limit with this, you know?